What's up, y'all? This is Hussein Nasser from iGeometry, and this is a special short, very short episode just to explain the difference between different data type sizes. So, for instance, we said that integers, so when you declare an integer, are we recording? Yes. So, when you declare an integer, we said that an integer can hold numerical values like 5, 7, 8. So, the question was the largest number an integer can hold, and I thought it's actually 32, and it is actually 32, but the problem is that how do you measure a 32 bit? So if you were to lay out all the bits, like for example this is an 8-bit, right? So this is 4 by 4, but in computer we start from 0, so this is 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. All right, so 2 to the power 7 is this largest number, right? So in this case, one of these bits are reserved. So for instance, what is this maximum number I can put in an integer? And it turns out that after a few testing, so if you say 2 to the power 32 bits, that's already overqualified, so you get an error. You cannot put this number does not fit here because it's too big, right? So, but if you replace it with long, that's another data type, you can obviously put that, right? Because long represents a 64-bit integer, it says that, right? So when you say integer here, it says a 32-bit integer. It's very clear. So, but when I say 2 to power 32, is actually larger because 32 is the 32nd bit, but what we actually measure is actually 2 to the power 31, from 0 to 31, right? So that obviously you cannot add. That's the maximum number, but just short that by 1 and you're good. That's the maximum number. So it's 2 to the power 30. 2 to the power 31 minus 1. That's the maximum number you can put in an integer. Alright, how about long? L as long. So obviously this value, you can put that in the value, right? So you can put 8, you can increase it 9, doesn't matter because we can hold up to the 2 to the power 63, so that just minus 1 bit. All right, so 2 to the power 63 is the largest number you can put, but that will generate an error, right? So minus 1, so 8, 7, and that's the largest number you can put in a long, right? So 2 to the power 64. Right, so these are the different types. I just wanted to explain. So it's 36 minus 1. Yeah, that's the largest number you can put in a long. That's a very huge number, by the way. All right, so I don't know how you pronounce that, but this 32 is what? It's quite a large number too. It's around what? 2 billion? Yeah, it's 2 billion. But you can run out for 2 billion, right? So you have to use 64 bits. That's the era we are in, basically. Everything moving to 64-bit. As we grow, we dive into the big data and all these large data sets that you need to count more than 2 billion. Obviously, 2 billion can be easily reached and exceeded. So I want to explain about these two differences, right? So every single variable, when you declare, remember the drawing we did? So when you declare a variable, it holds up a memory, fixed memory. So when you declare an integer, you have wow. All right. When you declare an integer, you have, for example, a 32-bit, right? Whereas when you declare long, you have 64 bits. So be careful with your declaration. So it might seem trivial, but choosing these variables in a small program might not be make a difference. But if you have a large software, choosing these are very must be very chosen by very carefully. So that's my 2 cents on those. So I'm gonna link this episode with the fifth one. So if anyone interested in learning about these, all right, guys. See you in the next one. Goodbye.